So like 5 minutes ago, right from this very spot while I was putting on the Messi jersey that World Soccer Shop sent to me to give away to one of you, I said to myself, F it, let's do another preview. And so here I am, ready to break down the world's oldest international competition, the Copa América, which I once played in, by the way. And you know what? Actually, let's roll the clip where Messi has to foul me because no one can get around Conradinho.
The ball in play.
That was just beautiful. Anyway, of the 12 nations that are competing in this tournament, 10 of them are from South America, which makes a lot of sense since there are only 10 countries in South America and they're all represented, which means they don't have to qualify for this competition, which is a little bit weird, I'd say. And the next two teams just happen to be the two countries that were in the 2019 Asian Cup final, Qatar, or Qatar, I don't know how you want me to say it, and Japan. And in case you didn't hear, Qatar won that final 3-1, and they deserve to win it. They were better than the Japanese on the day. Also, as a fun fact, this is the last Copa America that will be held on an odd-numbered year, as the governing body of South America, CONMEBOL, has decided that from 2020 and on, they will follow the same calendar as the Euros. I just thought that was interesting information and that you'd want to know that. So let's talk about the groups now, starting with Group A, which includes the host Brazil, who are ranked 3rd in the FIFA rankings, then Bolivia, who are in 60th, they are the lowest ranked team out of any in this competition, then Venezuela, who are 32nd, and finally Peru, who are 20th. Yes, Peru are in 20th. I wasn't expecting them to be so high. Not on drugs, in the rankings. You know what? You guys just need to get your minds out of the gutter. Anyway, starting with Brazil. Brazil. Well, the last time they hosted a major international tournament, they made it to the semifinals, which isn't too shabby. But then, when you take into consideration that they've won more World Cups than anyone else, I just feel like they're supposed to win. The expectations are higher, especially in front of their fellow countrymen. Not losing that semifinal to Germany 7-1, which is absolutely embarrassing. But leaving that aside, this is a really long way of me saying that they are the favorites to win this again. They have to be. And I say this knowing that they're not gonna have Neymar, who got his 3rd significant ankle/foot injury in the last 12 months. So it means, attacking wise, this is Coutinho's time to really shine. And sure, we could argue he was Brazil's best player in the 2018 World Cup, and that he's gonna be surrounded by other very talented players like Alisson or Ederson in goal, Dani Alves, Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, Felipe Luis, Artur, Casemiro, David Neres, Gabriel Jesus, and Richarlison, I think are going to be the other potential starters for Brazil in this tournament. So you have to think that some of these other players might relish the opportunity to shine when Neymar is out. But Coutinho is the one that really needs this. His time at Barcelona has been underwhelming, to say the least, and a good tournament here could help him reassert himself as one of the best playmakers in the world. And then as for Bolivia, well, they haven't won the Copa America since 1963, and their best finish since then, out of a 12-team tournament, is the quarterfinals, meaning they got out of the group and then they lost in the first knockout round game, which they've only done twice in the last 56 years. And that was in 1995 and 2015. So how else do you say this? They got no chance. And now moving on to Venezuela, all I'm gonna say is that my United States of America made them look like world beaters in their friendly last week when Venezuela, led by Newcastle United hero Solomon Rondon, scored 3 goals. Well, he didn't score all 3, but he had a few. In the first 30 minutes to win 3-0 at the end of all 90 minutes. And if anyone can do that to my USA, then they're probably gonna go on to win the tournament. And then finally, let's talk a little Peru, who are led by is he suspended for doping still? Or is he not? Paulo Guerrero, a striker, you might have heard of him before, who even at the tender young age of 35 is still banging in the goals. So he's not my concern, because the guy finds a way to have success no matter what. So my concern is their current form. Peru has only won 3 out of their last 10 games since winning their first game at a World Cup in 40 years last summer, which included losing to El Salvador back in March, which is unacceptable on so many levels, especially given their talent. But they do have a tendency of playing well in Copa Americas, having reached the quarterfinals of it in 8 straight competitions, including 2 semifinal appearances in 2011 and 2015. But current form is current form, so we'll see which version of Peru shows up. And then in Group B, we have Argentina, Colombia, Paraguay, and Qatar. And really for me, the main storyline in this group is probably the main storyline for the whole tournament, and that is, can Messi finally win a major tournament with his country? Can he finally get to the top of the mountain? And can his teammates, who are very good for their club teams but less so for their national team, finally help him achieve this goal? And the one answer to all of these questions is, I don't know, because I feel like there are three certainties in life: death, taxes, and Argentina with Messi in the team, almost winning something of consequence, but never quite getting there. But maybe, just maybe, things will be different this tournament because they got Giovanni Lo Celso in the team, and he was red hot for Real Betis this past season, while drama alert magnet Mauro Icardi is not in the team. So maybe rookie coach Lionel Scaloni, who is younger than me, by the way, so good luck to him on this new adventure, can find the right mix of guys to have sustained success. But it still feels uncertain. So I don't know. But what I do know is that even if Messi does win this tournament, all of the Ronaldo fanboys will be like, well, Ronaldo won the Euros, and he won the Nations League, and he's won more Champions League trophies, and he's done it in multiple leagues. And yeah. We all hear you, but we still think Messi's the GOAT. I love you, Ronaldo fanboys. Anyway, let's talk some Colombia, who are similar to Brazil in some ways, i.e. they are very talented, and we can make an argument as to why they could win the whole thing, but most notably, they have some players that need to reestablish themselves, like with, for example, James Rodriguez, who could really use a big tournament to get himself to a club this upcoming season that will build around him. His last two teams, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, didn't do that, even if he had some success. And I think for him to truly reach his peak and really get the most out of his abilities, he needs a club that runs things through him, much like Colombia does. However, as much as I love James, and not just because we share the same name, even though we pronounce it differently, I think he's a very good player. Colombia's success in this tournament might just come down to their red-hot striker, Devon Zapata, who blew up in a big way, leading Atalanta to a Champions League spot in Serie A with his 23 league goals. So if he's still playing at this level, and I fully expect him to be playing at the same level, then I think Colombia can do some real damage and make a deep run in this tournament, which means, as much as I have nothing but love for the other two teams in this group, Paraguay and Qatar, I'm not holding out much hope that either one of them will be one of the best third place teams because, and I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I feel like I probably should have. The top two teams from each group and the two next best third place teams reach the quarterfinals. Anyway, I say this about Paraguay because they didn't win one of their competitive games in 2018. 0. So they opted to go with a much younger squad this time around, and I think it's going to show. Also, as much as I appreciate Qatar's run in the 2019 Asian Cup, where they only gave up 1 goal through 7 games and beat Japan in the final, I don't think they know what's about to hit them now that they're coming over to South America. But maybe I'll be wrong. It happens from time to time. And then finally in Group C, it's Uruguay, Ecuador, Japan, and le. And we're gonna work backwards here and start with the reigning back-to-back Copa America champions, Chile, because I don't think they have it anymore. And in some ways, I think the whole team is currently mirroring their star player Alexis Sanchez's career. You know, where you can see that the quality is there because you've seen it in previous games, and at times you see the flashes of brilliance now, but it's inconsistent and it seems to lack energy and hope and everything else that it was built on, which I feel like is a sign that he and his country are past it. I feel like they've peaked, and now they're just gonna have to wait for another hero to come along and save them. And then with Japan, dudes, you were the favorites of the Asian Cup and you lost to Qatar. You know what? Actually, let me rephrase. You got played off the field by Qatar, so have some goddamn respect for yourselves. And now, in your second ever appearance in the Copa America, the first time was in 1999, where you guys got knocked out in the group stages, you have a chance to totally redeem yourself. But then I remembered that you're bringing a ton of younger players so they can get a lot of experience before the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo next summer, and now I think you might struggle a bit. And then there's Ecuador, who for me have announced themselves in a big way that something is changing in that country for the good at the development level after their U20 surprisingly won the South American Championship and then made a deep run to the semifinals in the U20 World Cup. But as much as I love and respect and admire their manager, Hernan Dario Gomez, I think the squad that he has at this tournament is a little too old to do anything of consequence. But the future is bright. And then finally it's Uruguay, who sadly are nearing the end of an incredible era of talent that produced, among others, Luis Suarez, Edinson Cavani and Diego Godin. And even though another era of talent is coming up behind them like Lucas Torreira and Federico Valverde, I'm not sure they're ever going to match the quality of Suarez, Cavani, and Godin again, which means it's now or never for this group of players. So I'll let you insert the joke here about what it looks like when Suarez and his teammates are hungry. Anyway, let's get to my predictions. So the winner of Group A, which I think is going to be Brazil, is going to face the third place team, or the best third place team in Group B or C. And I'm going to say that Japan is going to figure it out and get to one of the quarterfinals. And then they're going to lose because Brazil is better. And that means Brazil is going to move on to the semifinal. And then the runner-up of Group A, and I'm going to say it's Venezuela here, will play the runner-up of Group B. And are you ready for this? I'm picking Argentina to get second in their group. And yes, I know, but still, I think they're going to stumble a little bit in the group stages as they figure out how they want to play and how they want to win games and how they're going to have success. But they're still going to win this one against Venezuela because I think they're going to figure it out in the knockout rounds, which means they're going to face Brazil in the semifinals. Yes, Brazil versus Argentina. And that is some unbelievable mierda. It's going to be epic. But before I predict who's going to win that semifinal, let's talk about the other quarterfinals first. And the next one is the winner of Group B. And I got Colombia winning Group B. And they're just going to edge out Argentina on goal difference or something. And they're going to face the runner-up of Group C, Chile, because experience matters in big competitions. And Chile still has a lot of experience. But then I got Colombia beating Chile to make the semifinals against the winner of Group C, which for me is going to be Uruguay, taking on the best third place team from A or B. And I think that's going to be Peru. And then Peru's going to bow out because Uruguay, right? I mean, they're better. Which means the final four is going to be Brazil versus Argentina and Uruguay versus Colombia. And then Brazil is going to tragically lose in another semifinal in front of all their home fans to their rival. And Uruguay is going to get past Colombia. And it's Argentina versus Uruguay in the final. And Argentina finally wins so Messi can finally quiet the haters. So what do you guys think? Who do you got winning this tournament? Let me know your thoughts down below and we'll see who's right. Probably this guy. And who's wrong? Probably you, unless you pick Argentina like me. Also, if you appreciate all of the videos and hard work that me and Mike K are putting into this, then please do us a solid by hitting that like and subscribe button. It would mean a lot. Later.